Denver Broncos Mile High View, no commercials, no bullshit. Listening to Bradley Chubb and paraphrasing his comments about his own play and putting it into perspective, basically, I was happy just jogging along the treadmill, not really having the passion and the burning to really excel. That is a reflection of this entire team. But then, with some of these guys, some of them they're just not good. I was listening again. It was, I think, 104.7 this time. That's sports talk radio again. And if you want to listen to the same tired bullshit about, it's all about a franchise quarterback. Well, okay, is this team really all about a franchise quarterback? Matt Ryan right now is 0-4. He's a franchise quarterback. Andy Dalton, even though I have issues with Andy Dalton, I have to admit, watching Cincinnati play, it was this Denver Bronco players all flew to Pittsburgh, put on Bengals uniforms, and went out and played. And his team, the Bengals look identical to the Broncos. They have a franchise quarterback. Okay? That isn't the fucking issue in Denver. You got Chubb saying his comments. You have Chris Harris Jr. saying, I can't wait to get out of here. And my question is this. Who wants to come and play for John Elway? Honestly, anybody that, except for, let's say, Jawan James, somebody who's constantly in the hot tub. Oh, well, I'll come play for you, as long as you pay me, because nobody else is going to pay him. Only John Elway would do that. Because can John Elway actually get an offensive lineman that's worth a shit? You'll get people like Bryce Callahan. He'll play for John Elway. Well, I'll see you in 9 months. Maybe he'll see the playing field. Maybe, who knows? Yeah, that guy will come play for the Broncos, if you can call it playing, sitting in the hot tub. And speaking of just, jogging along the treadmill, Kareem Jackson fits that just perfectly. Oh, I'll play for you, John. I'll play. Totally uninspired football from Kareem Jackson. Yeah, that guy will play for the Broncos. Or a guy like Ron Leary, who's at the twilight of his career, and it's just one, injury away from missing, another 6-8 weeks. Yeah, you can get that guy. I want to know who has the Broncos signed in free agents that's actually making any difference since like Champ Bailey. Who? Who out there? Can we say it was a great signing? Thank God we have him. Nobody, in my opinion, wants to come to the Broncos. And the people that are here have the Bradley Chubb attitude, except maybe Sanders, who may be wanting after his contract to get out of here too. He's playing in a contract year. Who wants to come to the Denver Broncos? And you're going to talk about fucking franchise quarterbacks saving this team? If you're that fucking stupid, get on the radio and fucking pile that crap, that bullshit on my feet. If that's what you want, you go listen to that fucking shit. Because that ain't the fucking issue in Broncos country. I don't know if anybody wants to come and play for John Elway, first of all. I'm not even sure if Coach Fangio realizes now he made a mistake to come here. You should have saw it coming. There has got to be a cultural change in the Denver Broncos. There is nobody. Listen to this. I listened to Garett Bolles' interview, and it came away. It was after the multiple holding calls. It was Chicago, where the Chicago press is laughing their fucking ass off. They're on the floor rolling because they haven't seen anything this fucking ridiculous. Okay? Talk franchise quarterbacks, and that's going to solve everything. You fucking morons. But Garett Bolles' interview was full of self-pity. They're all coming after me. It's a conspiracy against me. Well, if that wasn't bad enough, listening to this, and I'll put a link to that, Garett Bolles' ridiculous interview, that wasn't the most troubling part of it. The most troubling part of the interview was he was reaffirming what the front office was telling him. Don't worry, they're all out to get you. You're not the problem. You're fucking awesome. because they're too afraid to put a boot up anybody's ass, especially their first-round draft picks. You know, they did just sign a tackle. They just signed a tackle. Now, maybe they were just, I would like to think that maybe the front office is just humoring Bolles. They signed a tackle, but he's like a rookie, but, at some point in the season, are they just going to let Bolles go and put in this tackle? It probably would be the best thing. Maybe they just got to talk because he's so fragile. I'm hoping they just have to keep him psychologically glued together. But the way I see it, he's been here so long, I'm beginning to think that's how the front office operates. And if you don't get pissed off at this whole situation, you want to go back to the tired argument that everything circles around a franchise quarterback. And what is a franchise quarterback in this day and age? Used to be, you had to earn that title. It wasn't just given to, we took him out of college. That's where you come up with the Andy Daltons of the world. But even me, I can't even blame Andy Dalton, who I think is really overall a shit quarterback, when you look at the team he's on. It's ridiculous. And it's just the same thing that's going on in Broncos country. Does anybody want to go really play for Cincinnati? Does anybody want to come to the Denver Broncos? That's a pill you better start swallowing. Because I have real reservations of whether or not John Elway is impeding this team, impeding bringing people in. It wasn't John Elway, really, who brought in Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was emphatic that what really brought him in was Pat Bowlen. If anything, Pat Bowlen was, in Manning's own words, and Pat Bowlen was always able to get people from other teams. John Beek, in particular, GM John Beek and Pat Bowlen, they really were great at bringing in outside talent. We have not seen that since Pat Bowlen basically passed away in his brain when he was still alive but gone. Manning was the last of that, and all the people that wanted to come in, which was really Pat Bowlen, the catalyst of all that. I do not see anything like that with John Elway. And I'm beginning to wonder whether or not anybody wants to come here until he's gone.